episode 26, ZBK podcast. We're here on a Monday afternoon, evening-esque night. It's a Monday. Let's get right into it, gentlemen. We got a fun day for you. Super Bowl was yesterday. We got some soccer to talk about. We got some NBA to talk about. Let's jump right in. Highlights of the week. Josh, what you got?
Bro, my
You went first last week. Yeah.
My highlight of the week is I'm not complaining, bro.
You're
My highlight
ready.
of the week is Chelsea's comeback win today. Because we were in shambles and we dug out out of the graves and the slums, and we actually won a game, which is needed because we're gonna get back-to-back losses coming up. So it's a good 3-1 win.
Yeah. AJ, how about you?
My highlight of the week is the Sixers trading for Buddy Hield. I thought it was a pretty good move. And they didn't have to give up a lot for him, and he's a decent scorer. So
What do you mean 3 second-round picks?
Okay. Not like we're gonna draft anybody good with that.
I will miss Patrick Beverly.
Oh yeah, my bad. We had to get rid of Patrick Beverly.
Yeah. My highlight of the week is dude, I had something earlier and I totally forgot what I was gonna say, but I don't know, man. NBA All-Star Weekend is coming up. I'm pumped for that. It's my favorite All-Star game out of all the sports we watch. So,
really?
Dude, NHL All-Star game is useless now. Kucherov literally showed up.
Did you watch the last NBA All-Star game?
I don't watch the game. I don't watch the All-Star game. I watch the 3 points and the dunk contest.
All All-Star games are horrible.
Dude, Kucherov showed up drunk to the NHL All-Star Skills Challenge, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Like, NHL's literally getting rid of their All-Star game. The MLB All-Star game is useless. The NFL All-Star game is flag football. Like, at least the NBA gives me a dunk contest that I can enjoy. So that's my highlight, and that's the only thing going good.
Yeah, but baseball gives you home run derby.
Yeah, but the same dudes win that every year. It's between Vladdy and Pete Alonso.
Hear me out. Add this event to the All-Star game, bro. And knockout. Remember, like we used to play in school, knockout?
Yeah.
Do knockout, but instead put like giant ass fans in front of their faces to freaking blow the ball away. No, knockout with the worst free throw. Yeah, knockout with the worst free throw throwers and percentages in the league. That'd be hilarious.
Of all time. Get Shaq out there.
That'd be
hilarious.
The
guys with the worst percentages of all time. That'd be great. All right, there you go. There's your new idea. Thanks to the ZBK podcast. You're welcome.
Just have Shaq and Charles play a game of horse.
One-on-one. Let them play one-on-one. See how long they last. I give them 5 minutes tops.
Worst, yeah. Take the lowest percentage free thrower on every team and put them in a giant knockout game. That'd be great.
I'm in. Add some highlights. So, we'll kick it there. Let's jump into our in general segment. All right, let's kick it. Let's start with some soccer today. AJ, we'll get to Arsenal like we always do first every week in alphabetical order. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. It was a pretty decent game. I get West Ham isn't that good, and I know that we're riding a little bit of a high, but it just feels really good to start a game strong, play consistently throughout it, and and really the summation of it is score 6 goals.
Yeah.
6 goals is good, and concede nothing.
Is it the most goals a team have scored this season? No, Newcastle scored 8. That's right. Sorry, I just clicked in my head. They scored 8.
Oh,
yeah.
My bad.
4 wins in a row, right?
But yes, 4 wins in a row.
Coming out of the 3 in a row losses.
Yeah. So it feels a little good, but once again, there's a lot more season left. There's a lot more things to prove. I think this is a good way to hopefully make a statement. Hopefully don't ride your own high, but it is a good
lose to Burnley next week.
This does bring you on level on points of Man City.
And it helped our goal difference because now we're tied.
Yeah. You're right. You're right there.
Yeah, I didn't realize Burnley are literally 19th.
Yeah, Burnley are terrible, bro. They're awful.
You just can't lose to Burnley.
We're not gonna lose to Burnley. Hopefully, I'm not gonna win, but
Yeah, and you guys have Champions League coming up. I think you, out of the three of our teams, you guys have the most potential games that could be played left with your if you go deep in Champions League and you continue to play in the league. Obviously, you have to play your league games, but if you go all the way in the Champions League, it's another, what is that? Another like 8 games you have to play, something like
I
that.
believe so, yeah.
So, I mean, it's no 65 games like we had to play last season, but
No.
dude, crazy amount of games. Crazy amount of games. Well, hey, you know what? Four unbeaten in a row, and I think you have like a plus like 15 goal difference in your last 4 games, so that's huge.
Wow.
And I think I wrote down here, I think team dominance is the best part of what you guys have right now. Like
You know,
I make fun of you because your defenders score more goals than your attackers, but like
but like,
it's a
is
win.
that really a complaint? Like, I actually saw a thing on NBC was talking about it. It was one of their talking points, and they're like, does Arsenal like actually have a chance to win the league? Because it's more or less like, well, they have less goals than last season,
Yeah.
but they get better results, or they have a resolve, I would say.
Do you
No,
get better
I
results?
disagree. Yeah, I disagree with that.
Yeah, like here's my like we talked about it on this pod so many times how lethargic you guys are.
Hold on, bro. Let me wipe off the glaze.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
Josh,
man.
Josh texted me earlier and he goes, "Give me a segment where I can roast Arsenal on the podcast."
I'm gonna roast them.
Look, it
No,
doesn't
and
matter. It doesn't matter if you guys just complete nothing again, though. That's the thing.
Mhm.
well, it's not the end of the season yet, so
Yeah,
don't write us off yet.
you're
I
already
just
out. Of,
think,
you're already out of 2 cups.
Yeah, wait, are you out of both FA
yeah,
and I
yes,
know you're out of
yes.
EFL because everybody's out of EFL.
I mean, we won a community shield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the
Uh,
most coveted trophy in English football.
um, I just, but they were like, we'll see how far that takes. I would say we have more resolve than we do. We have better mentality. We have more of the team is scoring. Does that mean we're gonna win anything? I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and say that, yes, I'm so confident, but
Yeah.
I like just the way we play games more than I liked last year. The
Okay,
way
so
we
Honestly,
go
you
ahead.
guys have. I mean, sorry, you have a pretty not a terrible end of season schedule.
Your hardest game's probably
Like,
against us, and like that's not even that hard.
yeah, I think. I mean, look at the table, dude. Like, it's so close.
Well, that was gonna be my question. Is like you
we
guys were on
still
the
have
top,
to
but
play
you were
City.
yeah, but you okay? So you're on the top of the league last year at this point.
Uh-huh.
Like, would you rather be there again, like top of the league, or are you like more content being in third and not looked
I'm
at as like clear favorites this season?
I'm I'm content with what we are right now. I mean, what? We're 2 points from Liverpool. We're tied
Yeah.
with City. I know City
Well,
has a game in
yeah, game in
hand,
hand, yeah.
but like, so what? 3 points from City, or 3 points from City, and if they win that game per se, so
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
points from City and 2 points from Liverpool. Like, yeah, I'd take that in a heartbeat. That's such a that's such a tight, like, three. Like, I know
As
everybody's
far
saying
as
City,
entertainment,
Liverpool, but like,
Yeah.
as far as entertainment goes for everyone, this is great. Because
yeah.
For the
Because
neutrals,
also,
no
yeah.
one knows.
I
Yeah, no
also
one
think
knows
that
the
it's.
clear winner yet. I mean,
Yeah.
I
everybody
also think
thinks it's just gonna be City all over again, but
in your perspective, I also think being third isn't bad, especially when you're only 3 points off being number one,
mhm.
because then you don't get comfortable. You don't get complacent.
Yeah, unlike last season when you were comfortable for 26 weeks on top of the table and then
Yeah,
you just
Yeah.
fell off a cliff.
exactly, exactly.
I think you guys are good where
But
you're
yeah,
at.
all
But
right.
I think you're better off this season. Let's go down alphabetical still. Chelsea, ups and downs. Josh, why don't you
Yeah.
take us into where you eat? Are you East London?
No.
What?
Are you South London, West London? Where's Chelsea at? I know Arsenal's North London. I was gonna say take us into
Mm-hmm.
East London, but I have no idea where in London Chelsea is.
No,
So,
you want to fact check that for us?
It actually might be the East. I think it is
all right,
East.
go ahead. Talk us through Chelsea.
All right. So if you're a Chelsea fan, my condolences to you.
Oh, you're in West London. Sorry, go ahead. West London.
Okay, cool. The West Side.
That's where Fulham is because you're
Um,
located in Fulham.
so we won our last 2 games from losing our last 2 games, conceding. Frick, man. 8, 9, 10. We've conceded 10. We've conceded 10 goals in our last 4 games. So that's awesome, right? We absolutely got cold. I'm not gonna say clapped. Yeah, we absolutely got dismantled by Liverpool.
Mhm.
And then we lost ridiculously to Wolves, which is terrible.
AJ had a
And
field day
then
that day.
No.
and then we beat Aston Villa 3-1, which was a great win. Like best probably best game of the
We
season
didn't talk
for
about it in the
us.
last pod, but can you do you want to like that Enzo free kick is probably one of the best free kicks I've seen in my lifetime.
The Enzo free kick was very big. It was a great goal. It was a really, really good goal. Like it looked like, bro, I was rubbing my eyes and I was like, oh my gosh, Argentinian God, is that Messi? Um, it was a really good goal, but I think his celebration was like perfect for where we were at, where we were at.
Yeah,
Because
he was pointing to how many years he has left on his contract.
yeah,
On his prison sentence.
because there
Yeah.
was there was reporters before a big game. Sometimes they like to just bring something in, but there was rumors of him saying that he was looking at other options. Bro scores an absolute worldie of a free kick, takes his shirt off, and then points to his shirt and then points down and points his head and says, "I'm staying here." So that was pretty cool. And it was a good win. And I mean, Villa also lost again. Who played Villa? I
We
forgot.
did.
United.
United.
We did.
Yeah. So
United.
they actually had like the second best away record or home record, sorry.
Not anymore.
Best, yeah. They
They've lost
had.
they've lost their last three home
All right, bro.
games.
Let me finish talking, dog.
No.
I said they had the best second best home record before this. So it was cool winning that, but then kind of sucks that United beat them because it kind of steals from our fury because United beat them. But
It means they're dog crap now because
yeah,
United
so now
and
they're in
Chelsea.
shambles.
Just need to
They're in
get the pile
shambles.
on them now.
Well, honestly, we lowered their confidence beating them at their
Yeah,
home.
you really helped us
We
actually.
paved the way there. But I will say that today's game, I watched it all. Um, Still don't think Potts is good. I don't want Potts to be our manager. I don't care. I think he was saved. He literally got saved two games in a row. I don't think any of what our results are directly came from him at all. I don't want to give any kind of credit to that man.
Yeah.
He's terrible. I'm telling you right now. Um, the Villa game, we did line up well. We looked good. Tactically, I will say we did look good. But then we go into this Crystal Palace game where Crystal Palace, we know they're going to play a low block because they're missing really good players that starters for them. Olise, Eze, and Mark. And we were struggling. We went down 1-0, scored Gallagher, scored 2, and then Enzo scored 1 at the end. Cole Palmer got 2 assists at the end. And we looked terrible, bro. Like in the formation setup, the way that we had Enzo and Caicedo pivoted together, he was like, nah. We came into the match and he's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Like, dude, I don't understand what Potch does. Like, he comes into the games, or I don't know. I literally texted you guys. I was like,
Mm.
I don't know what this guy does before matches. Like, I said
Feels so
it feels like
tired.
he spins a board called the tactical board. He spins a board with like 20 different options and before the game and he's like, oh, I'm gonna do this. There's no consistency. I also am frustrated about how we're bringing on Nkunku to play a whole second half. Dude, just why if you're gonna bring him to play second half, then I'd rather you start him and then take him off like at the 60th minute or whatever. You want to take him off at halftime to keep him rested, fine. Why wouldn't you want one of our best players to start the game, give us a lead, and then rest him if you're worried about his fitness? You know what I mean? It's just more so like, oh my gosh, I need to cover for my butt. And Nkunku throws Nkunku out there and posts him with the stick and is like, here, bro, do something for me, save me again. It's just frustrating. I
Did he
can't with
save
that
him?
guy. I mean, no, man. Cole Palmer. I mean, Connor Gallagher, dude. Shout out to that guy because Chris was like, "Oh, sub off Connor Gallagher." Bro heard
You
him,
heard
scored
me?
2 goals. I will say the brightest links in our team right now are obviously Cole Palmer. Honestly, dude, I think my favorite player this season has been Malo Gusto. That guy's actually
Really?
phenomenal. Yeah, he's actually
Yeah,
just
he's
really
not
good.
bad.
He's 20 years old. He stays healthy.
Dang, I didn't really see
I
this bad
think
yet.
it
Mhm.
really gives you questions to like if Reece James comes back healthy, like you can't just I feel like at this point you can't just be like Reece James needs to just automatically slot in over him. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at.
You do. You replace god awful Ben
Ben
Chilwell.
Chilwell with
You put
Malo
Gusto on the
Gusto.
left.
And Gusto play left.
Yeah, he
No,
has.
I don't
Oh.
know.
Look, man, if
Mm.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka or Diogo Dalot can play left back, I'm sure Malo Gusto is clear if both of them can play left back.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. We have to figure out a way to play them both. But I'm so glad that was a good buy by us. Again, though, like we really needed that win today because we do have incredibly difficult games ahead of us. We're playing City um, at their home, and then we're playing in the EFL Cup final against Liverpool. Obviously, City is City. Last time we played them, it was a blockbuster game, but I think we're a different team since then, and not in a good way. Um,
You have to
so
start Cucurella. He started in that game.
so I don't know what that game's gonna look like. I don't have any kind of high expectations. I just pray that we don't get absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah,
And also in that Liverpool Cup final, I just also don't have expectations of winning. I just hope that we don't get embarrassed again.
yeah.
And I hope that Poch doesn't do something stupid with the lineup, dude. I will be so fuming.
Thiago Silva at striker for that EFL Cup game.
No, Madueke
Honestly,
is
He'll
gonna
play.
start.
if
Madueke,
in
Raheem
this
Sterling, and Nico Jackson top 3 line.
this is
Yes.
where I'm at as well, like
Most chances missed FC.
with this whole thing right now, like with Nkunku playing an entire half.
Mhm.
If Nkunku doesn't start against City or Liverpool, what are we doing, man? This man doesn't need to be milked any longer, dude. He's fine. He's literally fine. Like, please just play him because I'm tired of. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my mind, bro. I'm tired of some of these attackers, bro. Madueke can either be great or he can be terrible, man. Terrible.
There's no in
So I
between.
don't know. I could go on, man. I could honestly go on, but I will say,
No.
what did you write here? Slowly getting best team available again. No.
What do you mean no?
No. With Thiago Silva just freaking got hurt, which I know I do slander Thiago Silva sometimes. If he didn't start the game today, we
You would
probably
have
would have
conceded.
conceded a
Yeah.
good amount of goals because bro freaking throws his body on the line. Also, Badiashile as well is hurt for a
Yeah. See, I
month.
wrote that before I knew that Badiashile got injured today.
Yeah, Badiashile's out for a
And
month,
Fofana's coming back
and
soon though. That's what they're saying. He's like
Puel
back
is
on
getting
grass.
healthy.
Oh
So
yes, I
it's kind
can't
of
wait.
it's
Can't wait
just
for
it's just
Fofana to
kind of
blast body.
it's unfortunate because it's like, man, we can't catch a break. We get someone back just to put
And then
someone
lose
take their
someone
spot
else.
in the hospital.
Mm.
Um, also possible bright spots ahead for the rest of the season? Question mark? Question mark? I don't know
A cup,
what were you looking at when you read that, bro? Because
Hey,
we played with
you're in the
an
EFL Cup
EFL
final,
Cup,
bro.
an EFL Cup. I mean, that's gonna be
You're
the
in a
highlight of the
final.
season.
You're in a
we
final.
are
Arsenal can't find their way into a final. We can't find our way into a final.
no, but it doesn't matter if we don't win, man. It doesn't matter. We're playing Liverpool. We
It's a neutral site, bro. Anything can happen at neutral
It's
sites.
your
It's
news.
true.
Remember, you drew
It's
zero
true.
zero. You
Tell you
lost
what,
on pens.
if we beat City, I will have high hopes.
If you beat City, you jump to like seventh place in the table.
Yeah,
So you'll be out of the bottom 10. We won't have to
yeah.
scroll down to see
Hmm.
Chelsea's
But it's
name.
impossible, dude. It's impossible. I'm telling you why. We are literally yo-yo string in 10th. We'll go to 10th to 11th or 10th to 9th. Okay,
It's fine.
that's it. Anyways, that's it for me, man. Go
Watch
ahead and
saved
talk
again.
about United. Go talk about United and Ten Hag being the best manager in the league, six
Mhm.
unbeaten.
I actually talked to some guys this weekend that absolutely hated Eric. So
Dude,
Give it.
there's
Hey, you know what?
there's a
You
minority.
deserve to be celebrating, Chris. So celebrate.
Look,
celebrate, you won.
six unbeaten. I mean, our last two games have been good for us. Beating West Ham 3-0 was great. Getting because they beat us in December 2-0, literally the day that I was going on my cruise, and I chucked my jersey at the wall about 10 times, saying this
I
team's gonna
remember
ruin my freaking Christmas.
Me and AJ were texting each other. We were like, I wonder if Chris watched the game.
I woke up early to watch that game, only to throw my jersey at the wall like 10 times. But now we're at 6 games unbeaten. I wrote this for Chelsea, but I also wrote it for United. We're getting our best 11 back. And as soon as we got Lisandro Martinez back, he got a nice MCL sprain. And he's out for 8 weeks. So that's great. Now we're playing Varane and Maguire again together, which worked really well against Villa. Apparently Harry Maguire won man of the match for Sky Sports. So congrats to you, Harry. Rasmus Højlund has scored 5 goals in 5 games. So he's the youngest player in Premier League history to score in 5 straight games. He's also added 2 assists to his tally, which was nice. And the best part about this game wasn't even the fact that we won. Obviously winning the game is great, but it's the fact that our players have actually high ratings and played really well without scoring goals. Like Rashford had one of his best performances of the season, and he did score or assist. He didn't even come close to scoring a goal, but he had his best game of the season. Kobe Manu looks great. Casemiro put on the greatest theatrical performance I've ever seen. Homie got a yellow card and essentially put on this whole musical theater performance begging the ref not to give him a yellow card. Like
I
he was
saw that. It's a
dancing or
meme. Yeah, he was like
doing some Brazilian rain ritual or something. But no, beating Villa is great. I can't stand Aston Villa. So it's nice to see them losing. But other than that, man, like 6 unbeaten is great. Eric, which
Yeah.
I learned this recently, and I knew it, but I forgot about it. Eric Ten Hag is currently the most winningest Manchester United coach of all time. He's got like a 61% win percentage.
Oh wow.
That's more than Ferguson, more than Moyes, more than Mourinho. And they said so he's played 96 games as man. He's 96 games as manager. He's won 58 of them, of his 96 games, something like that. So they said he'll be on pace for winning at least 60 out of 100 over the next 4 games. So which is positive because he's gotten a lot wrong over his time in the last year. But to be fair to him, like this season was rough for a lot of it because we lost half our players, and Højlund didn't know how to find the back of the net for the longest time, and Marcus Rashford lost his form, and we were playing Anthony and Garnacho, and then Anthony found some domestic violence case, and then Jadon Sancho sagas, and now we have Martial sagas, and I feel like my team is finally calming down a little bit, where I'm not blood pressure at 1,000 every day, waiting for some bombshell to drop in our club. But I guess Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe are happy with him. Happy with his incorporation of the youth and what they're doing, and I'm happy about getting them. I guess now is they're doing everything quietly, whereas everything before Manchester United was in the news, oh, we've been linked to 1,000 different players in 30 days. They're doing everything contract negotiations and we took City's director of something to be our something, and we're trying to take Newcastle's director of football to be our sporting director, and they're doing a lot of their stuff under the radar, which is very different from Manchester United. So he's done more in 30 days than the Glazers have done in 15 years. So I'm starting to see brighter days, but you never know because anything can change. We could lose to Luton on Sunday and I wouldn't be shocked, but I have a little bit more hope now as a Manchester United fan that we can continue to do better. So that's all I got. I don't have a soapbox today to talk about. I'm just a happy United fan.
The vibes are up.
What do you mean? Onana had 8 saves.
He did have 8 saves, which was crazy. That game. Oh, there's the last talking point when Douglas Luiz scored and he did a little shimmy in front of Onana.
Yeah.
First of all, that pissed me off because that's the lowest of lows you can do to some as a professional player. And then nothing felt better than when McTominay scored and Varane literally, as soon as Douglas Luiz picked up the ball, Varane walked over to them and said, "How about you dance now, bro?" And nothing felt better watching Luiz cry on the field after we beat them. So he literally came on an interview after the game. He was like, "Yeah, maybe that celebration was a little too early. I thought we were gonna end up winning the game." He goes, "Well, guess I'm never gonna do that celebration again." So eat your words, eat your dance. We're 6 unbeaten and play City in a month. So I'm with you on this waiting for City game. So we'll see.
Please
But that's enough. That's enough for soccer today. Champs this week should be good. Champs next week should be good.
Barcelona plays
Yeah, Barcelona are trash, bro. They literally couldn't beat Granada.
Bro, they gotta
Yeah.
sell Pedri and sell Gavi.
They're gonna sell everybody. They would have gotten their they would have gotten their
You see that
720
TikTok I said
million.
where it's like this man is desperate, sell Rafinha, sell Lewa, sell Pedri, sell Gavi.
Yeah, bro, and then put the 360 million on the Chiefs to win. Then you have 720 million, and then you could buy them all back, plus Mbappe, plus Kevin De Bruyne, plus Holland. We're gonna be set for life. No, man, Barcelona are trash. We don't need to talk about those garbage Spanish teams.
Mhm.
All right, let's jump to the NBA to finish off our in general segment. I meant to pull these up, but the NBA trade deadline was a week ago ish. It was like 4 days ago. What are your guys' thoughts? Just jump in real quick. What do you think? What did you think about this year's NBA trade deadline?
Lots of
This
bolstering.
the deadline wasn't really
nonsense.
like there wasn't really anything crazy that happened. Most of the bigger trades happened like ahead of time, like
Yeah, earlier.
Pascal, Siakam. But I mean, I think I think the Knicks did really good, and I also think that the Mavs did really good. The Mavs did good with Gafford
No?
in Washington.
You
They're
think giving up just giving up that much for PJ Washington was
Yeah, do you know what
and
No,
Daniel
I get
Gafford
it.
is
I
Daniel
get that
Gafford
like
is more so the
they wanted to get Grant Williams out because
yeah, no, I know, and
he's
that's what I'm
making more
saying.
money, but he also he literally was wearing Luka shoes, and then apparently said in the locker room that Tatum was better than Luka, so he put his Jason Tatum shoes back on. So I guess he
I
was a
mean,
cancer in the locker room.
Daniel Gafford's a really good rotational player. I think I saw that he averages like one of the highest field goal percentages as a rotational player. And
Mhm.
then he's also like he's really good offensively and he fights defensively. He's not like super big guy,
He's gonna be
but
huge for them.
he's a great all-around player. And PJ Washington is like that kind of spot up shooter, which obviously he does get slandered because
He was on the Hornets.
sometimes he's not that great.
And he
But
played for
so
Charlotte,
far,
so
I mean, Luca makes players around him better,
Mhm.
and in the debut that they had, they looked pretty good, and it was already like that was their first game.
Yeah,
And you got rid of Grant Williams, which is
it's a
which
huge
is
win.
pretty good.
huge win. I don't
Mhm.
like that guy at all. I think they did good.
There's a reason why
I can't believe they
Boston let him
signed him
go.
for like 4 years, bro. In this off season, like they didn't even have him for like a whole season.
No, they realized how much of a cancer he is for the locker room. So,
Yeah, the Knicks also did great with Bojan. I like Bojan.
Yeah, that
bro,
was
so
a
it originally came out that it wasn't that Boyan wasn't in the deal. Woj
Mhm.
Yeah.
quickly tweeted it and didn't put Boyan's name into it. So it was literally Quentin Grimes for Alec Burks, and Knicks fans were pissed. And then 5 minutes later, he
Quentin
goes, "Oh,
Grimes,
and
that's
Bojan
sad
I
for.
Bogdanovic."
low key, yeah, I low key would be upset if it was just Alec Burks. Like Alec Burks isn't bad, but like
They just traded one. They traded a youngster for a freaking
Bojan's a good
31-year-old
scorer.
player.
Quentin Grimes is he's okay. Um, but
Just gonna go
Bojan is a
rot in
great
purgatory.
addition. Bojan might be like what they need to kind of make a little push. And I don't think they're man, but I don't know. Brunson's been playing very, very well.
Do you see the memes about Boyan and Thibodeau, bro? They're like, this
yeah,
guy
they're
has
gonna
the
play
guy's
you for 40 minutes,
yeah,
bro.
they're like, this is Tibbs's ideal guy. No tattoos, no extracurriculars, no hobbies, nothing. Tibbs
Yeah,
might put this guy in the ground.
yeah. I think though Pistons did that more so to clear up cap space.
Yeah,
Probably.
I think they already
Boyan's
chalked up
making a
the
ton of
season, to be
money.
honest. They already chalked up the season
I
for
would hope they
sure.
chalked with the season. They
Yeah,
don't have
however, dude,
9 wins.
by
Yeah.
October.
Yeah, but that's a good. I mean, for the Knicks, it's great. I like it for the Knicks. For
Yeah,
the Pistons, it's whatever. It's not like it, no.
nothing crazy.
They're already sold. What else
Yeah,
happened? Thunder, the Gordon
Yeah,
Hayward went to
Gordon
OKC.
a lot of people are
Thunder.
upset that OKC didn't trade any of their 27 first-round picks for a big man, because that's what that everybody says that's the piece they need is like
But
Yeah,
like, what's really
a seven
yeah.
foot
available? Like,
center.
so what?
Anybody's
Uh,
available if you throw 5 first-round picks around.
But like, e- like even like, what is it? They can't go to anybody in the West because they'll be like, no, we don't want to trade to you.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
like
I
a
mean, I
jet,
don't know.
like a Jazz center, like you Kelly Olynyk or Laurie Markkinen. I don't know. Like,
They could have gotten Kelly or not Kelly,
This this
Laurie.
makes sense to me. Gordon Hayward makes sense to me because he'll fit into the team just fine. They're trying to win. I do think that you're right though. Like they did need some big guy, which there were options like to
There's
have a
always an
rotational dude.
option.
I also think that it's a great I think it's such a great move because Josh Giddey, I don't think isn't in their plans. He's not in their plans for the future, bro.
Not
He
anymore.
just
He
doesn't.
was for
He doesn't.
last season.
He doesn't fit in the team now with Chet there.
Yeah.
Like it's just a different team. I think.
Then I
I
feel like
think
they
they'll.
Can't
should have
have two
traded
tall,
him.
lanky white guys in yours.
Yeah, but they weren't going to trade. They weren't going to trade. They weren't going to trade him right now. I think Josh Giddey will leave
It's an off-season trade.
Yeah,
in the
probably.
off season.
Big blockbuster deal. What if
I don't
you
know
like?
about
Okay,
Man-
if you're trading
Trey
Josh
Man
Giddey,
leaving would
are you
make
going to
me
get a
sad.
center?
Trey Man is kind of sad. Trey Man is in the trenches right now, bro. Homie.
Trey Man getting
Yes.
traded felt like Mikal Bridges getting traded from the Suns.
Yeah.
Like that was sad.
End of an era.
That was sad because that's like their teams, man.
Yeah.
But I mean that's whatever.
Yeah.
The Sixers.
Yeah.
Talk about that one.
Yeah. That was my highlight. Buddy Hield. Pretty. He wasn't really that great he hasn't been that good this past season, but he's a scorer and we kind of
He's
need
a
that right
sniper,
now.
Bro, he scored
Yeah.
24 points. He scored
he's a
24
No,
points.
I'm saying before like he
Yeah.
got traded to us, like he was
Yeah, he
like
wasn't great.
he was a scorer, like he was okay, like Halliburton was taking over the load, but like I feel like we needed a body that can score, so
Yeah.
I really like the
You have to
trade.
take Max pressure off
40.6 3-point
Maxey.
shooter.
Yeah. What's that?
He's a 40.6% 3-point shooter on 7.7 attempts per game.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
And he shot 5 of 8 tonight, so dropped 24 and 8 assists tonight. It's crazy.
And then we didn't trade for him, but we got him off like whatever free like waivers. We got Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, you didn't eat into your future cap space that bad.
Yeah.
I think
So-
him and
2.8 million.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and so I think we made some pretty decent moves. Hopefully Joel's back. That will make these moves feel a little bit better to me, but
him and Tyrese are gonna be nice once they get clicking, bro.
yeah.
That's gonna be great.
So we will see.
Everything you guys did is good because
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey's I don't think is ready yet to handle the full superstar load of a team.
Yeah.
This is his first season where he can step into the spotlight. So getting Kyle Lowry and getting Buddy Hield is really going to help him.
Yeah.
He's already breaking out this season even more so, but getting two guys who can score.
Marcus Morris.
Marcus Morris got the key to the city and then they traded him away. Oh,
Bro, not to slander Marcus Morris, but that dude was low key garbage. So
Oh, I know.
it's like PJ Tucker. It's like who's gonna sign PJ Tucker, dude? Homie, he provides nothing
the
offensively.
Clippers,
I like Buddy Hield.
the
I do.
Rockets.
I actually, you know what? I like Philly, which is surprising that I like a team AJ likes, but I do like Philly.
Yeah.
What else? Heat's
Last thing,
Hornets,
Yeah.
Terry Rozier, Kyle
Terry
Lowry.
Rozier.
Too bad Terry Rozier's injured now.
I think it's a good trade for the Heat. Lowry's old. Obviously, he doesn't have like what he used to have, but
It's a good trade for both sides because Terry Rozier it's a win for Terry Rozier because he's no longer the ball handler in Charlotte because of LaMelo.
Mhm.
And in Miami, he doesn't have to be the guy. Like he's gone there, he's averaged like 8 assists and like 15 points. Like that's what he should be averaging. Shouldn't be expected to drop 30 a night like he was in Charlotte. So I think it's a win. And
yeah,
didn't Charlotte get a first round pick back or something like that? With Kyle.
I think they did get
Let
a
me see.
pick in return.
he
'cause
receives Terry Rozier. Hornets receive Kyle Lowry and a lottery protected 2027 first round pick.
Yeah.
there you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, but that's a crazy dude. Miami's GM's great.
You mean
I
Pat
think-
Riley?
Yeah, pulling that off, making that a lottery.
Yeah, Miami's GM Pat Riley,
Yeah.
legendary head coach and NBA legend.
I
Pat
forgot his
Riley.
name.
I like it. I like it for
That's a great deal for Miami.
because Miami they have good depth. They have
Mhm.
Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez Jr.
Jaquez.
I mean,
He's actually been honestly for them, that's a great pick.
It's
Like
been pretty
he's
good.
been
Him
he's
and
been pretty good.
Derek
Draft.
Lively have been like unsung rookies.
Yeah,
I
we
would
didn't
say.
talk. We didn't talk about that in the Mavericks, but getting Gafford is going to save Derek Lively's life. That guy was playing 40 minutes a night as a rookie. Like this is going to help him.
I know.
Great.
And then that's trade deadline. Obviously Pascal Siakam.
You know who
already
lost the
happened.
trade deadline? The
Who?
Kings. I felt like the Kings needed to go get somebody, at least somebody. But all they did was freaking pick up Robin Lopez and then wave him immediately
You
after.
see Robin Lopez freaking reading a
book on the Bucks sideline. Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah,
know who
wait.
else lost the trade
Also,
deadline? The Lakers.
Yeah, they didn't do
Yeah.
anything either.
They signed.
They sit on their
Okay, I
butt.
want
Oh
you
yeah,
to
my
know.
bad. They got Spencer didn't. Oh my bad. Didn't as I've been
Yeah.
saying didn't shitty.
Yeah.
I went to work and saw Efren. I'm like, hey dude, how do you feel? He's like, what? You guys made a trade. He's like, no way. And I was like, guess who you got, bro? And he thought they got shoot, what's his name? Um
Murray.
Hawks. Murray.
DeJounte
Yeah.
Murray.
Oh,
Yeah.
DeJounte
I'm
Murray.
like, don't tell me we got DeJounte. I'm like, you got DeJounte, bro. He's like,
Mhm.
no way. I'm like, nah, bro. You got Spencer Dinwiddie. And he was like, oh man. And then Spencer Dinwiddie has the lowest field goal percentage in the league.
Yeah. 37%, right? Something like
In the
that.
league. Lower than Killian Hayes.
Let's jump out of the in general, out of the soccer, out of the NBA. Let's jump to our main segment, the biggest and according to recent reports, the most televised watched game of all time in the NFL. The Super Bowl, 49, 59,
48.
48, 48. All right, Super Bowl 50, 48. Kansas City Chiefs defeated the San Francisco
Oh,
49ers
what?
25.
Not 48,
58,
50.
right? 58? Okay, I
Yes.
was right.
50 happened like
Eight
years
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
8 years ago. All right. Super Bowl 58, Chiefs 25, 49ers 22 in overtime. AJ, you want to recap that game for us before we jump into our quick fire questions?
Yeah, sure. It was I would say it was a pretty defensive game towards the beginning. Not a lot happening, lots of fumbles, lots of miscues, lots of defensive stops. They end up they just get a field goal. It's 3-0 for a little bit. They San Francisco scores on a trick play like a
Can we
little
talk
bit
about that
before
trick
half.
play? We talk about that trick play. That thing took
Mhm.
10 seconds to develop. I was talking with someone today and I was like, bro, at some point you're a defender. Like this is probably the most used trick play in Super Bowl history is double passes.
Mhm.
Like at some point as a defender, you're like, huh, he's not holding the ball. He's like he's gonna run it. Let me look up and find the guy on the other side of the field he's gonna throw it to.
Mhm.
Anybody could have done something there and prevented that from being a touchdown.
Um, so yeah, they get the trick play, then the Chiefs go down, score another field goal, and then the 49ers don't really do anything with it. But at this point they're up 10-3. The Chiefs get it back. They get kind of close down to the red zone. They kick a field goal because they knew they're getting ball at half. Uh, we go 10-6 in halftime. Uh, it's a fairly close game. The Chiefs aren't looking that great though. They get a lifeline after they just kind of go back and forth. The Chiefs have to punt it away, and then just one of the most unfortunate bounces I've ever seen. Like literally hits the guy's heel,
Yeah.
and so it's a scramble. It's a muff. They score immediately off that. Then it's a tie game at that point.
Now it's 13-10. Chiefs.
Oh yeah, 13-10
It
Chiefs,
took
and
him
then
like 47 minutes to get a lead in that game.
yeah.
But go ahead.
So then 13-10 Chiefs, and then the 49ers kick a field goal, and then they exchange a couple field goals till it's 16-16, I believe.
Yeah, so Jawan Jennings scored a touchdown, made it 16-13. Then they exchanged
Yeah.
field goals
Oh
to
yeah,
make
you
it
missed the extra point. Yeah.
yeah, then it became 19-19.
Yeah. 19-19. That's what. Oh no, that's not what overtime
Yeah, overtime
is
was
it? Yeah.
19-19, yeah.
Okay. They go 19-19. They go to overtime. Uh, according to reports, they didn't know what the new overtime rules was, but it doesn't really matter because the result would have been the same with the old overtime rules. So do I know? But uh, so what is it? So they go down. They get stalled out close to the red zone. Kick a field goal. They get a chance. Chiefs get a chance to win, and they do. So that's pretty much how it went down.
Man, Patrick Mahomes wins his third Super Bowl in 6 seasons. Does this officially put Patrick Mahomes in the GOAT conversation?
You know, ESPN has been putting.
You know, I like what Shane Sharp said. Shannon Sharp, sorry. They were, how was it? Was like Stephen A. Smith, but they were talking
First
about like
take.
Yeah.
goat conversations, and he said it doesn't make him the goat. It just, he's still got to keep doing. He's still got to keep winning Super Bowls if he wants
Mhm.
to surpass Tom Brady. But what he said is, and I agree with him. He said all this proves is that Patrick Mahomes is by far the best quarterback in the league. And then he said, number one is like the number one spot is way farther off than 2 and 5 or something like that. Like the
Yeah.
second best quarterback and the fifth best quarterback. The gap is like
Mm-hmm.
way, 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 way larger. And I agree with him.
Yeah.
I
But I mean,
agree. I think
Mahomes.
So is
Yeah.
he in that GOAT conversation? Not obviously he's not the GOAT, but is he like it? Where's he at in that conversation?
I'd
Is
be
he
very
is he two? Is
interested.
he three?
I'd be very interested. Like, I don't know what they're saying about like media back when Tom had won
Yeah.
3. I'd be very interested to hear what they were saying at the time about Tom
Mhm.
when he won 3. So, is he the GOAT? No. Is it a little presumptuous to call him that? Yes.
Yeah.
3 Super
But where does
Bowls
it put him
in
is what he's asking.
where does it put him?
Yeah.
It
Is he
definitely put
like?
he's definitely on track. Like
He's
he's
on
definitely
he's like
he's
probably
Yeah.
making a
So
move.
obviously Tom's number one, and like it's super hard to pass him. We'll talk about that question in a second. But like then there's Montana. There's
he's probably
naming quarterbacks like Montana, Young,
I think he's
Marino.
3.
You think
I
who's
think he's
Damn.
behind
he's
Montana
a,
still?
yeah. Joe
That's
has
fair.
5.
Yeah, but did he have
It's
3? Did he have 3 in his first 6 seasons?
pretty close.
Because I know, I mean, Tom didn't
It's
either, but
it's pretty close for Joe. Like he won a ton in the 80s.
yeah, but when you have the greatest receiver of all time, it's not hard.
A two-peat
Okay,
is
when you
pretty
have one of
crazy
the
I know,
too.
I know. Okay, so will he surpass Tom Brady? Patrick's 28. He's got 3 Super Bowls in 6 years. Will he surpass Tom Brady's 7 Super Bowls?
7's a lot.
It is a lot, but I mean,
I
He
mean, look,
they're
we'll
dominant.
revisit that conversation if they win the three-peat.
No, I want to have this conversation now before they have the 3-peat.
I think
If
he
they get the
gets
3-peat,
I'm giving him 5.
you think he
I'm
gets
giving
5?
him I think he's tying with Joe. Or he'll get 6.
Yeah. So what if he lasts another 12, if he plays to like 38, which
Uh-huh.
is really rare, he's got to win 5 and 10 years to beat Tom Brady's record. He's
Yeah.
essentially got to stay on the same pace he's on right now to win 8 in 16 years. He's got to win a Super Bowl every 2 years. That's crazy.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's freaking crazy. All right. Speaking of the Chiefs, Travis Kelce, where's he at in the GOAT tight end conversation?
It's
This is a
also
bunch of questions like
it's
this in this
also
segment.
it's also another tough question just cuz like is he a Hall of Famer? Yes. Is he the GOAT? It really depends on what you like in a tight end. I'm gonna be really honest. Like, cause like if you like a receiver, that's not really like he's tight end, like that's what his position is. But let's be honest with ourselves, he's a receiver. Like last time I checked, his blocking's like mediocre. It's not bad. He's clearly a pro, and I can clearly sit on my couch. But like comparative to other guys, he's mediocre.
Yeah.
He's great
So
when you need him
he is, but
postseason.
it's just like there's guys that are really good blockers and pretty good receivers. It's
Mhm.
like people are just debating him and Gronk, which is like you get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, of course. The thing with
They're
him though is
they're pretty
yeah,
tied.
yeah,
I
I
would say they're
agree.
tied. It
They
just
both
depends on
have
who you like.
they both have that kind of like it factor when it comes to like playmaking.
Mhm.
Like the Chiefs wouldn't be where they're at if Kelsey hadn't put on certain performances or made certain plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
And that's why I'm like that's what I'm saying. Like it depends on what kind of who you like more. I would say they're tied
Yeah.
at the moment.
And so stats wise, in their career, regular season, Gronk has played 143 games. Kelsey's played 159. Gronk's got 621 receptions to Kelsey's 907. Gronk's got 9,286 yards. Kelsey's got 11,328 yards.
Hmm.
Gronk's got 92 touchdowns. Kelsey's got 74. That's just in the regular season. Postseason's 22 games to 21 games in favor of
Hmm.
Gronk. Gronk's got 98 receptions. Kelsey has 156 receptions in the playoffs. Gronk's 1,389 yards. Kelsey's 1,810 yards. And Kelsey actually beats him in touchdowns in the playoffs with 19 to Gronk's 15. So that's their side by side stats. I guess if you look at stats, then technically Kelsey is number one.
hmm
Would you
But
you guys agree? I know it comes down to who
it's
you
because
like better, but
it's because he gets fed more. I mean, you just read out his stats of receptions, like and
yeah, but I would
and
think like
looks.
Tom and if you look at Tom and Patrick's teams, like they probably have the same caliber of receivers. Like you could say Mahomes have better receivers, but he's throwing to Kelsey more. Like why didn't Brady
Yeah.
throw to Gronk
Why didn't
more
Oh
the
than
greatest
no.
of all time quarterback?
throw to Gronk?
You have the GOAT QB as your passer. I don't know. I don't know about that yet, but we'll see.
He
It's good.
definitely gets fed more, and he plays more. He's more available. I'll give you that. Travis is more available
And he
than
has
Gronk
Taylor
ever
Swift's
was.
aura.
Yeah, the
hmm
aura.
Yeah, Travis is more available than Gronk ever usually
That's
was.
true.
So
Andy Reid now. Um, Obviously Belichick's the GOAT coach, according to a lot of people, because of what Belichick's done over his 20 something years in the league. Um, where does Andy Reid rank all time, do you think, coaches wise? Because
he's
obviously he's
breathe
not the GOAT, but
he's
like
breathing down his neck.
you think
I
so, even with Bill's 6 Super
he has
Bowls and
Andy has all-time wins, so that's already a step over Bill.
wait, really? Jeez,
Yes.
please.
He's all-time regular season wins.
Okay.
So he has that. Uh
He's got the walrus stash.
he has that. I would say he's gone to two different organizations.
Yeah,
He's been at two different organizations and has been a pretty amazing coach,
yeah,
I would say. Like obviously his Eagles tenure didn't bear any fruit. He went to a Super Bowl, but I mean, hey, three straight. He's doing the same thing that he did right now. He went to three straight conference championship games in the early 2000s. Like I get he didn't make it over the hump, but that's still an impressive season for any team. Like postseason. That's still postseason success. Whether or not he didn't win a Super Bowl till later in his career and stuff like that.
yeah,
So I would say he's breathing down his neck. Obviously, he doesn't have six. He has three at the moment.
yeah,
I think I think one more, and I think we're talking like I just said about it's who you prefer.
yeah.
I think a little bit, but we'll see.
If we're going on the preferred conversation, I'm taking Andy Reid because he's done it with two different teams
Yeah.
and multiple different quarterbacks, and like we've seen what Bill did without Tom Brady, but
Right? Yeah,
they're
that's
like
true.
3-13.
And he had what? McNabb, he had Mike Vick, he had Alex Smith, he
Yeah, now he's
had
got Mahomes.
Mahomes.
That's
So
crazy.
he's had a variety of guys come into his system.
Josh, where does Andy Reid's mustache rank all time facial hair?
Shoot, man.
I'm thinking like his mustache with the icicles on it in that negative 500
Yeah,
game.
I was just popping that in my head right now. Bro, he's up there. Yeah.
Josh is
Hmm.
starstruck at the moment.
Uh,
Just thinking about that walrus stash.
Give me them now. Explain it again with those nuggies.
Dude, that's my favorite commercial.
Have you seen the GIF now? The freaking meme. He's
Yeah.
like,
How was
"How
that
about that
D?
D?"
Yeah.
I love him. I love Andy Reid, man. I like him a lot. I even just like the way he the way he speaks and the way he presents himself.
Yeah.
Like e- everyone was all over the place. Oh my gosh, how could Travis Kelsey push his coach and yell at his coach?
Okay. Well,
And
that was unprofessional. That was an unprofessional move in my
yeah, but
opinion.
the way that he spoke on it was like it's just like, man, that's just a leader of men right there. Like he's
Yeah.
just like, you would die for that man. You would die for that man. And
I love when he cracked a joke. He goes, yeah, he kind of got
yeah,
me with a cheap shot there, man. Like that's kind of
yeah,
messed
he
up.
did. He said he caught me off balance, caught me with a cheap shot. But just the way he presents himself, I like the way he speaks. I like his Wendy's commercials. Um,
This is State Farm
State Farm
commercial.
oh yeah, sorry, but you can't
Give
tell
me
me that
Uh,
take
they're
this
not in a Wendy's.
yeah,
cheeseburger.
it's
You can't
good.
tell me that they're not in a Wendy's.
Now explain it again
He's
with
got a great stash
with
as
those
well.
nuggies.
He's got a
Okay,
great
what?
stash.
Yeah, I love it. Last Chiefs thing, for right now. Full circle for Mecole Hardman. Left the Chiefs in the offseason, signed with the Jets, gets traded before the trade deadline for a 7th round pick, 6th round pick swaps. Goes back to Kansas City and he scores the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl.
I love how
Um,
he said, I kind of blacked out after I caught that ball.
Blacked out. I didn't celebrate immediately because I didn't know what the heck I did. Can you imagine, like you caught the Super Bowl winning touchdown and you're like, what did I just do?
Yeah,
Like
that's funny.
your receiver
Good for
catching
him.
touchdowns. That's
All,
gotta feel
all that
good
be said
though.
is just good for him.
Mhm.
Nothing more.
Yeah.
He's a two-time,
Right place, right time.
3-time Super Bowl champion now.
Yeah, he is.
Right
Three Super
place,
Bowl with the
right
Chiefs.
time.
Yeah. Um, let's move to the 49ers side of the ball. Kyle Shanahan, 3 Super Bowls, 3 league
What a
chokes.
what? Listen, Kyle is a smart coach. Don't get me wrong. I am tired.
Told me
I
that.
I am tired of this man. He dances through raindrops. I cannot stand him sometimes. It is ridiculous how much like he's gonna stay. Like there's no doubt in my mind that
He's
he's
one
gonna
of their best coaches of all time. He should
yeah,
stay.
he's good, but I'm tired. Like the narrative is set in stone now. I lose in Super Bowls. Like I make
Yeah.
Super Bowls, but
I lose in all of
I
them.
lose in every one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
So
those of you
agreed.
that don't know, Kyle Shanahan, he was the OC in Atlanta when they played the
he
Patriots.
was the OC.
And
Yes.
they were up 28-3 and they lost that game in overtime. The last time they played the Chiefs, they blew a 10-point lead and lost that game. And they blew a 10-point lead in this Super Bowl and lost that game.
Did they have
It's
a
this
10-point
is
lead at one point?
yeah, it was
They
ten
did.
zero. It was 10-0.
10-0.
Yeah,
And then it was
yeah.
10-3 at halftime. But does this like
10-6.
no, it was 10-3. There's 10-3. They
Sure.
kicked, yeah,
Dude,
because
yeah,
Moody
hold
kicked
on.
the
10-6.
55 yarder, and
I'm
then
sorry.
Butker kicked the three at the end of the half.
All right.
Moody is, dude, them saying like Moody sold us. Moody sold us. He
No,
missed the
your
field
offense
goal.
sold you.
Dude, I literally see those TikToks and I have to refrain myself from going into a battle in the comments. You guys are dumb. He literally
A
if your
blocked
defense,
extra
if
point.
yeah, if your defense would just maybe hold them off, like what do you want him to do? He kicked the ball how he kicks the ball every time. He literally
Yeah.
said what he
It
had
was
the longest.
blocked.
He
Didn't
had
he
the
have
Yeah,
the
he
longest?
he
had the
had the
long
longest field
for
goal
about
for
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't give me that. Don't give me that garbage about the extra point, bro. Like, get out
Yeah.
of here. Gosh, 49. That, you know what? That makes me just solidify my choice of like not feeling sorry for them.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, they're such a 40.
So
They sort of 40 whiners. Like
yeah.
this isn't the first time, man. Like I literally texted you guys. It's like it feels good to see them lose because like Debo's been talking trash all season long.
Did
Like
you see Fletcher? You see
yes,
Fletcher Cox after
Fletcher
the game?
went after Debo and the 49ers, and he's like, yeah, I've been holding this one back, bro, but now I'm gonna say it. He goes, you guys suck. You didn't deserve this, and a bunch of choice languages I can't say on this podcast.
Yeah.
But dude, like Eagles and 49ers it's a social media rivalry. Let's put it that way. It
They're
doesn't
kind
it
of like
the boring games, but like
they're kind of like Tottenham, bro. They're the Spurs.
the 49ers,
They
yeah,
can't win. They can't win
Yeah,
the trophy, man.
that's
I
true.
guess. No, they have like you realize
They're
they
like
have like
Arsenal, my bad.
But no, they're like
yeah.
modern. No, yeah, all the old
Hey.
time trophies, and they can't win anything in the modern era.
Yeah. uh
Oh man! All right, so it's in Kyle Shanahan's blood now that he's a Super Bowl choker. Chokes on the biggest stage. I was talking to a lot of people today about it, and I think if they just
This
random,
one
even
this one's not a
Tony Romo was
choke
right. It is a
though.
choke.
I don't feel like this one does like yes, I just said he seals his fate as a Super Bowl loser at this point. If he wins the Super Bowl, good for him, but I highly doubt it at this point.
Mhm.
This one just feels like he didn't choke it, but like
hmm, I don't
certainly
know, man.
like
I
They
disagree.
let them get in the game.
I think his
I'm
defense let him down.
Yeah, but dude,
dude, you
they
can't
were
say that though
dominating
because
the entire game. They literally Patrick Mahomes looked like freaking what Brock Purdy should be as a garbage quarterback.
That's what I'm
Like
saying. But like
they literally had the Chiefs in a box for 30 minutes of that game.
they let them get a taste of the game. That's where they went wrong. And you can't really the defense,
you know what? I
bro.
think that honestly, it was a special team play. It was literally like the muff
Yeah.
punt. I think.
Honest and too, bro, some of the non-holding calls, like the I was watching some back, bro, and the
Oh
amount of
no, for
times
sure.
that
I definitely
Mhm.
sat there and was like, how
dude,
is it like there was like
the
no
Niners
flag. I
got
was like
gypped, man. I was like, bro, how are Bosa probably could have had plenty of sacks, man.
Yeah.
Bro was literally getting tangled up.
But
But
on the same coin, I felt like the spots for Kansas City
Yeah,
were
Kelsey had 2 first
absolutely
downs.
atrocious.
Kelsey
Was
had 2 first downs. They
absolutely
didn't
atrocious.
call.
They showed like the replay of the side where like literally they have like the ball in like the crease or whatever, and he's just like
Mhm.
crossing over the actual boundary.
And they
But
didn't they
And it
didn't
was
honestly,
like a
they
third
didn't
and
call
at
it
the
one.
end
yet.
at the end of the day, bro, when you're a team that prides himself on having a good defense, and then your defense doesn't show up on the biggest
That's what I'm
game,
saying. It's more on the defense than it really is.
Yeah,
Like
but
the
then
offense is at fault as well
how do
because
you
you're a
have how
loser.
do you have the offensive player of the year and you stop running the football with him?
He had 25
It doesn't
carries.
matter. Brock Purdy missed how many throws in that game, and you still put it in his hands?
Well, that's not my
man, that just
fault.
shows you though, like
I didn't call the game.
I'm not saying you did. That's a Kyle Shanahan problem.
that
It
just
is a
shows you though,
Kyle
like where
Shanahan
Brock
problem.
that just shows you where Brock Purdy is, bro. Like
It
25
does.
attempts. He's just
He
like,
had
here,
30. He had
Christian
34.
McCaffrey, here, Christian McCaffrey, save me, bro. CMC, save me. Keep feeding him the ball, dude.
Yeah, but like, dude, he's the offensive player of the year. He led the league in rushing. Like, but you decide that, hey, well, I'm going to put the ball in the hands of an inexperienced quarterback when I have the best running back in the league behind him.
Yeah, perfect.
Give him
Why don't you
35
lead us
carries a
into our
game.
next question with that?
No, where does this put Brock Purdy? Is he a top 5 quarterback, a top 10 quarterback? Does this shut up Cam Newton about being a game manager, or is he still Mr. Irrelevant?
Give it to me, AG.
Oh, you want like my
AJ's
true
hatred for Brock
I
Purdy's
am
going to show here.
I am a hater. I am a hater, but you might be surprised what I'll say here. I'll say based on this season alone, he's top 10. He's pretty good. He's been pretty decent all year. I don't think he's
He'll get
anything
better.
special. Yeah, I don't think he's anything crazy special, but he's a starting level quarterback, and that's more than hey, there's only 32 of those jobs that are
Mhm.
out there. And I don't think most people the problem right now is that he wants his contract. He wants obviously big boy money,
Mhm.
and like that it's to pay or to not to pay really
Well,
now.
so this is the funny thing. I saw this because the 49ers took him with that last pick in the draft. If they would have gotten him as an undrafted free agent, Purdy could have gotten a contract extension this summer. But
Right.
since they picked him, he has to wait a whole another season to get his contract.
And that's what he's gonna be. That's why I think he'll probably have another decent season because guys in contract years just tend to play a lot better
Yeah,
in general because they're like, yeah, I want to get paid again.
yeah.
So
Let me ask you this question. Um, with Brock Purdy, because the rumor came out, I think in the playoffs that they were ready to replace him with Tom Brady if they could get Brady in San
mm,
Francisco. Like, what is that? What kind of faith does that show Brock Purdy if they
it's
were just
not
going to turn around and replace him immediately?
it's not a Brock Purdy. I don't think it's a Brock Purdy issue. It's more of a Kyle Shanahan loving his rental QB issue. Because like Kyle will replace you in an instant. He
Yeah,
does not care.
I know he
He can
traded
throw any
Jimmy for
slab
a
of
bag of peanuts.
yeah. He literally put any slab of meat back there, and he'd be as long as the guy can make quick completions and reads, he
Yeah.
does not care. So that's why I don't think Brock's bad by any means.
Hmm.
I just think that he's so willing to like. Do not be surprised. Not this off season, but maybe the next. If Kirk is on the team, Kirk will be on the team.
Well, so I saw that too. Was that
He loves Kirk Cousins.
yeah,
If he
I
can't get
saw that
Tom
if
Brady,
they wanted to reunite Kirk and him last
yeah,
season.
he loves Kirk Cousins. So I do not be shocked when Kirk makes his way over to San Francisco,
Yeah.
and we'll see.
I could see him going there this summer and it being Brock's backup and giving Brock real competition.
Right,
Since Kirk's going
so
to be a free agent.
he'll
And
be a
they have
free
money
agent,
because Brock's on an eight
a
hundred thousand dollar
minimum.
salary.
Yeah,
All right, last question. One of the last questions we have. What's next for the 49ers now? Are they back in the Super Bowl next year, or do they take a hit in their competition? Because like, look, they sold the bag to get where they went this year, and they didn't get the job done. Like trading for Chase Young they gave up a lot of assets for that. Like, and they're probably crazy over the salary cap. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but paying all those guys big money, like they've got to be like in purgatory cap hell purgatory here. Like, so where are they at next year? Are they back in the Super Bowl or are they fighting Are they amongst the everybody else again?
I wouldn't say they're amongst everybody else. They're definitely a postseason team again.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always gonna shed whenever you do pushes like that. You're always gonna shed talent, and you're always gonna have to the Super Bowl tax or whatever. Like, so I think their roster is built well enough to where if some guys they're shedding like leave, then they'll be okay. They can retool, they can reload. Do I think they're back in the Super Bowl next year? I don't think so. I think they'll make it a make far postseason run, but it just goes to show how wide open the NFC is pretty much every year,
Yeah.
like comparative to the AFC.
Yeah.
I feel like I could see any team getting hot in the NFC, and once again it's just too early to predict anything. And
That's the fun,
but
isn't it?
no, yeah, it's the fun, but I do not think that they're in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
You don't think so either, Josh?
No, I don't think so.
It's
I just
hard,
think
man.
a lot. Yeah, it is hard, and I don't think. I mean, I think look at the path that they took this season. I mean, they still have great players. They're still a good team. The thing with the regular season is it's not just one game you have to win. So if they have a fluke, they're still consistently pretty decent. But you're going to have a lot of other teams that are going to get better too. And like Green Bay put up a good fight against them. Detroit obviously lost to them.
Yeah.
Lost to them. But like they weren't like I don't feel like any of them were like statement wins.
Yeah.
And like AJ said, is they're definitely a postseason team, but I just don't think that they're going to make a Super Bowl again. Also, I cut out a little bit when you were talking about Purdy, but I just don't know, man. I don't really think he's. I don't know. Well, hey, if he can do it consistently in seasons, then
Then we'll
respect, man.
talk.
Yeah.
Respect. But I mean,
He's had
sports
two
is sports.
seasons now.
Athletes,
1.5, right?
you see athletes
I
all
would
the
say
time.
two.
You see athletes all the time have a good season and then next season not have a good
Yeah.
season. So we'll see.
This is his first full season because he played like half, just over half last season.
I also have just a feeling if he
Sophomore slumps.
if he goes somewhere, if he gets traded, like I think I heard you guys say Kirk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If he goes away, I just have a feeling he's just going to be terrible.
Well, what are we talking about the pod last week? It's literally like the quarterback who carries his team in Mahomes and the quarterback whose team carries him in Purdy. Like
Mhm.
Yeah,
Purdy's fits.
It's also
the skill
confidence.
the skill players carry him, and
Mhm.
and Holmes carries his skill players.
And we saw that last night in the Super Bowl. Like how Purdy missed 3 touchdown throws. He missed Debo twice, and he missed Juwan Jennings in overtime that could have won them the game. Well, Chiefs went down and scored. It would have tied the game, but like
again,
you can tell,
young kid.
Young kid
So
in a contract year next
Yeah.
season. So
hopefully he doesn't have the sophomore slumps. So that's all I gotta say. All right, our last Super Bowl question before we give our way too early 2025 Super Bowl predictions. Taylor Swift, obviously biggest story of the year in the NFL. She didn't get proposed to on the field. So shout out to all you people in Canada who betted no, she wouldn't get proposed to. I guess our biggest question is, does this Taylor Swift hype die down, or is it just going to be like this again next season?
hold on, let me call in our ZBK podcast resident Swifty, Jaden Johnson, to give her input in this.
Welcome, Jaden.
welcome, Jaden.
Thank you for joining the podcast today. So, okay, as a Swiftie yourself, how do you feel about Taylor's takeover of the NFL this season?
I've loved it. It's the first time in my whole life I've ever watched a football game all the way through. So
you've enjoyed Taylor being everywhere and anywhere this season.
yes, she's really not on that much, but yes, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, more recently, I think I saw a stat that was like she was in 1% of the game yesterday. She was on for like 55 seconds.
Yeah,
we
it
saw
was
more
it was
Blake
not a
Lively.
lot.
I didn't think she was on that much. People complain.
People stopped talking about her because they saw Ice Spice making demonic symbols on
I was
camera.
gonna say
So
Ice Spice was
What?
there.
You didn't see that? Yeah, she was like she did like the whole
No.
like demon signs and like choked herself with her necklace. I don't know, it was really weird.
What?
That's not for this
Oh, no.
podcast. Okay, so Jaden, we need your opinion. is Taylor Swift's hype for next season going to be the same as it was this season, or is it going to go down a little bit, do you think?
I think it's gonna be the same. I think the Chiefs are gonna it's already gonna be crazy because they're coming back from their second Super Bowl win back to back. And also, I think part of the reason it's so big with Taylor is because what she's doing in her own career, and that's not gonna stop anytime soon. She's still she's making new music, she's still touring well into this year. So yeah, I think it's still gonna be hyped up.
All right, last question for you before we let our resident go. Will they get engaged this year, or is this going to be completely PR and they're going to
Um,
break up and she's going to write a new album about Travis
Yeah,
Kelce?
is she one of her
mm,
songs on Dead Poets Torture Society or whatever it's called?
What do you think?
I don't think they're gonna get engaged. Maybe. I don't think so though. But I hope they stay together. Um, AJ's he's gonna become a Swiftie for sure.
Yeah.
He's already trying to act like he doesn't know the name of the new album.
I don't
He's
know the name
obviously
of
a
the
fan.
That's
You almost had it.
bold prediction.
It's like is it just like Tortured Poets Society, right, or something like that?
Department, not society.
Okay.
Close enough.
Yeah, see?
Hey,
It was
you know
close.
what? It's been a great season for Taylor Swift and the Chiefs. Maybe you know what? She'll be back for all 18 games next season instead of just like
Yeah.
6.
Well, she's touring worldwide, so
All right,
I
never
don't know.
mind. We're gonna
You
get the
never
same
know.
amount of games last season. Never mind. Well, Jaden, thanks for joining us and
Thank you,
talking Taylor
Jaden.
with us. All right. No, but that's our NFL main segment of the day. I just think there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about. Obviously we're all religious in Christianity and in that way. And I know that religion isn't a thing for everybody. So I'm sorry if you don't want to listen to this, but it's just been a cool revival. Too bad you're gonna hear it anyways. I think there's been a cool revival in the world in general, but I think and I watched a lot of the NFL award show the other night, and I think it's interesting it's cool to see a lot of these big names instead of the first thing they say is glory to myself and my teammates and my family. Like a lot of these guys like McCaffrey and CJ Stroud has been very adamant about it this season. Mahomes said it actually when he came off the field. They asked him about it. I don't know. I didn't see Lamar's, but I'm guessing he said it too.
During his speech, yeah. First thing
Yeah.
he said was, "I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior."
Yeah, I think it's really cool. And the Chiefs owner actually said it last night on national television too when he was asked on the podium about it. He goes, "I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving us this opportunity. You know, it's been a long season, and Patrick said, thank God, God's challenged us to be better this season because we've been complacent. And he goes, it's given us a drive to do better. We don't have to talk about it for long, but I just wanted to bring up the question is how does it feel like us as Christians and believers, to see some of these biggest stars, give glory to God immediately instead of to themselves or to anything else in their lives?
I do think it's cool, but I wouldn't what is it? What's the words I'm trying to look for here? It's refreshing. It's refreshing because obviously it's a team game, and I assume they're very selfless people.
Yeah.
And so it is refreshing to see that these guys that a lot of people look up to and a lot of people watch on a daily basis believe in the same Lord and God as I would assume most Americans do. But yeah, just what is it? Sometimes what is it? I don't want to be cynical, but sometimes I don't know if that's truly genuine or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a kind of like a response thing where it's like
it's a trigger for them to say
yeah,
it.
just I'm going to Disney World after winning a Super Bowl.
I agree, but I agree, but I also disagree because someone like CJ Stroud who does speak on he speaks in his press
Well, that's
conferences.
what I'll give CJ Stroud a pass because every time that man takes a podium, he's like, "Glory to God!" I was like,
But
"Well,
I also want to say though, I think he's even a leader for people in the league to maybe people in the league kind of are shy away from it just because of what people's opinions might be. But maybe him being more outspoken on it this season has allowed people to become more verbal about it. because I think the coolest thing to see is when they're after the game, even
Prayer
even
circles, yeah.
players come prayer circles, like players are
Oh no,
hopping
that's
in. You know what I mean? Super
that's
cool.
it's very
And
cool.
and like Chris said, it's very easy, so easy for players to automatically just I'd like to thank myself, and I did this myself. Like we don't see that much. That's the
Self high
thing though. I mean,
fives.
but because when you win awards like that, like that's one of the highest feelings that you could feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's cool. I think it's important. I think it's huge for them to use that as their platform, obviously, because football is the most watched sport in America.
Yeah.
Um, so it's cool to see.
I think last question before we close for the day. Is it possible, like, okay, so like in outside of sports, we've seen like bigger revivals and like in churches and in like college campuses. Like we had, I think it was Asbury University that had like a week straight of worship in their chapel, like nonstop. Like people came from all over the country to go there. Like we've seen like big athletes like get baptized and do all that all the stuff that's like kind of just shifted them from where they were in the past to into the walk with God and taking that step. Um, in that revival question, is it possible? Do you think it's possible that like we see some of these leaders in the NFL, like CJ Stroud and guys like that, like kind of just start a revival in sports and like the NFL in specific, and like get to like will we get this? Do you think we'll get to see something like that take sports over?
I
Like,
mean,
will that become a bigger pillar, do you think?
I think it's possible, but I think that I mean, if they use their platform, it's possible. But I also think that it has a lot going against them because the NFL is just a business. It's a market, and they don't care about that. You know what I mean? Like their money at the end of the day. But it's definitely possible for like I just don't see the NFL trying to help them players out. But
Yeah.
I also think that players are going to do what they want as far as their
They're
religion
not
goes
gonna
and there's
they're not gonna silence them on that. It's kind of
Well,
like
exactly
they already kind
yeah.
of
it's
did. Like, what was it that when the Texans beat the Browns, CJ said, like, first, before I say anything else, I want to thank God and thanked him
Mhm,
for everything. And like NBC took that clip and like cut out that part of him giving glory to God.
I
Hmm.
see.
So I guess we're seeing
That's what I mean.
censorship in
Is
that
that
way, but like,
is that they
they push past that? Is my question.
I think
for
they
sure? I
can.
mean,
I mean, we've kind of already had a precedent with it with Tim Tebow,
Yeah, but
Mr.
yeah,
Tim
he got
Tebow a
mocked and
while ago.
ridiculed for it.
He did. But I mean, in general, he brought a lot of eyes and a lot of
hmm
attention to Christianity and the love of Jesus Christ. And
hmm
so I whether or not I thought it was more positive than it was negative on that side.
yeah,
But so there's already fairly a precedent with it. I don't, and I obviously I think there would be a lot of fight back if more censorship happens like that. Like
yeah,
I think like because it's like you really gonna tell me like because I know he says it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
we've
right.
seen the
you
clip.
can watch
They
like the
have
Houston Texans will post that part of the clip and like if you don't like you know what I mean? Like
You
it's
look
like yeah,
terrible.
here you go. Like
yeah yeah
so
no. They have their platforms though. I mean, it's beyond just what's being televised. They all have
yeah.
their social media
They have his
things.
social
But
medias and
I do think though that it's for sure possible, and I think that we are seeing a lot more athletes be more outspoken about it, which is cool. And I think when athletes do that, it encourages them because they have their own their lifestyles are obviously completely drastic than normal
Yeah,
people.
they're in a
So
spotlight always.
yeah.
yeah,
So
so
it's
I
more
think
of
it's cool.
it's a lot of it's like a connecting tie
Yeah,
with like
yeah, it's
Yeah.
possible though
How
for
do we
sure.
bridge the gap? That's just
yeah.
that's too much conversation for one episode. That's a in person kind of personal conversation. But like I just think that's something on that was something on my heart as like a believer to be like, hey, like we can talk all the worldly views all we want, but I just think there's something special about celebrities using their platform for good instead of for
Hmm.
selfish needs. But with that, that's gonna wrap episode 26. Thanks for sticking with us through however long this episode is. Hopefully it's not too long for you. But if you made it this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, share it with a friend. Tell someone you love them this week because we need love
It's
more than ever.
Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day. It will be Valentine's Day when you see this. So happy Valentine's Day. If you celebrate. If you don't, then I'm so sorry you don't have love in your life.
Love
But
is a farce.
But we love
No,
you. We love you. But that'll be it for this week. We'll see you all next week with episode 27. Peace.
Peace.